My name is Jensen. Let's learn some Microsoft Excel. Today we will see how we can work with tables in Excel, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get all the new videos about Excel and automation. So let's get started. We have some what we see as structured data, however to Excel is not structured data. What we see is that we got 4 columns. We got idea with unique ideas here. We got names with some random names I just created. Then we got regions, north, south, east, west, and then we got a total amount here. If we can't tell Excel that these columns and rows are related, then we can bring more structure to it, and we can have we can use some very powerful functions. So let's do that. We will just click a random place inside this structured data. Then we will click Format as Table, and we can choose a table design, a style. So let's say that I like this green one here. And what I'll do here is that I'll right click on it, and then I'll say Apply and Clear Formatting. We want to apply the design, however we want to clear all formats that might be here in this area. So let's do that. We can see that now Excel, it recognizes that we have a range here. And it also says that my table has headers. ID, names, region, and total. Those are headers, so that's fine. Then click OK. And now we created a nice looking table with banded rows. So far, so good. The first thing we will do is that we'll mark a cell up here. And we can see that the table name is table 7. That's not very smart because we want to refer to it later. So let's call this maybe sales. So now we named the table sales. That's good. Then we can see that we got some other options up here. We can choose to disable the header row. However, that doesn't make any sense because we just added the headers, and that's a nice and simple way to display the data. So let's keep that one. We can choose to have the first or last column as bold, like this. However, it doesn't make any sense either. Not often, at least. And then we can choose to have the banded rows. That's these green, white, green, white, you see. And if we click that off, you will not see it. However, they make it very readable. We can also choose to have banded columns. But that doesn't look very nice, and it's not easy to read. Maybe we could choose it instead of the banded rows. However, I think the banded rows are the ones that we usually use, so let's stick with that. Then we can add a total row. So if we click that, we can see that we now have a total here. And let me expand this D column. So this one gives us a total amount of 413,389. That's the total amount. Let's say that we want something else than just the sum. Then we could mark this, and we can see this drop down. And here we could choose, for example, count. There's 20 entries up here. We can choose a minimum. That's 0.48. It's this one, and we can choose a maximum. We can choose a standard deviation and all other stuffs. But let's just stick with the sum. That's fine. So that's the total row. Let's disable that again. Now we will look at the filters. The filters, those are these ones up here: idea, names, region, and total. And those ones are really powerful. We could choose to disable them up here. However, now we will use them. And we'll most often just have them on. What we'll do here is that we can click this filter. Say we want to sort the total, so we want to sort the table after the total data. So then we can click the drop down here. We could, for example, sort smallest to largest. Now we have the smallest total up here and the largest total down here. We can see that the order is now different because we sorted it by the total. If we want the idea back, we just go over here and sort smallest to largest. Now we sort it after idea. We could also choose to say that we only want to have a filter on where we only want to see sales bigger than a number like 1,000, or we want under a number, we want equal to, or whatever. So let's say that we only want sales greater than 10,000. Then we can click OK. And now we can see that we only got the biggest totals here. So let's click it again and clear the filter. Now we can see how powerful this table name is, because if we go here and then we'll refer to some place in the table and we click equal to, we will click this cell. We can now see that instead of saying D4, we now have sales and the total column. So that'll be more, if we got large data sets, this is definitely more easy to look at. However, or not however, let's say that we go in this column right here, and we will say that we want to add VAT to this. I don't know how much VAT is in your country, but just say it's like 20%. Then what we'll do is that we'll times this one with 20%, so equal, and we'll mark this cell, and then we'll say 1.2. So then we got the VAT number, and click enter, and now we can see that because we did that, Excel just automatically created this extra column. We could of course just rename the column, and we could delete it again if we are not wanting it. Two other powerful features is that we can reference this table name again. So let's say that we somewhere else needed to refer to, say that we wanted to have the average of the total column, then we'll just say equal to, then we can choose the average function like this. And now let's refer to this table and this column, and what we'll do, this column here, what we'll do is that we'll just start typing in sales, and we can see that the sales table got here. So it's very easy now. Now we know we're in the sales table, and then we will have these square brackets like this, and now we can choose our column, and that's the total, right? Like this. Then we'll have the square bracket end and the parentheses. So now we will have the average of this total column, but just referring to the table name and the column name. That's really smart. Click enter, and now we got the average. Really smart. Another smart feature, that is we can mark here, we can click insert, and then we will click the slicer here. So click the slicer, and what we'll do here is that we will another powerful feature, that is the slicer. And what we'll do here is that we will just click a cell in the table, then we'll go to design, and then we'll click insert slicer. Now what we can do here is that we can mark the region, then we can click OK, and now we got a nice looking slicer here. And what we can, first of all, we can see that we misspelled one of the south. That's on my one. But what we can do here is just we can click this east, and now we only get the east ones. We can click the north, we can only get the north ones, the west and the south. So this is the last powerful feature that I wanted to show today. Now you can easily create your own tables, you can work with it. And what we'll do next is that we'll click how to style a table, and then we'll move further ahead. That's it for today. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Have a good day. Bye bye.